Greetings, my Chinas. It is now time for the Q&A. And we have Douce Frugalite here, preparing a photo for Instagram. She's obsessed. She's a narcissist, and she loves taking pictures of food. That's what she lives for.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we got here, bananas.
Bananas, broccoli, paste of dates.
Yeah.
Sugarcane, pasta, curry, cinnamon, polenta, liquid sugar, rice. This is not for eating. We have lychee and papaya, celery, and more rice here.
Isn't that too much rice?
No.
We'll get fat from all that rice.
Oh, and we also have tomatoes in cans.
That's too much acid.
Yeah, it's fine. It's cooked. And soy sauce.
That's too much alcohol.
Yeah, just a little.
And what's that down there? Is that the trash?
We recycle everything.
That's disgusting. You live like a savage.
Yeah, I know.
Right, let's get started. So the first question is by Nourish by Nicole. How long have you been cycling and how did you get into racing? Well, I started cycling back in 2006, May 2006, and back then I was a fun rider for that year. I did my first race at the end of that year. It was November. I think it was a 94.7 cycle challenge, and I started with the fun riders back in OH. That's like probably the 10th group from last or something like that, and that was my first race. And then in 2007 I started racing properly. I started racing as a junior, and yeah, I've been racing ever since. Yeah, I've been racing pretty consistently. I had some times where I got depressed and got sad, and didn't want to race. But I got over that because it was just a mental thing. I just got cycling for the wrong reasons. And how did I get into racing? I got into racing because of my friend. He was a triathlete at the time. And then he said, you must try the cycling thing. And then I got into the cycling and I loved it. And I've been going strong ever since then. So Johan asks, what's your feelings towards DI2 and which do you prefer? Well, I haven't tried DI2, so I can't really give an opinion on it. Even though I haven't tried it, I still think mechanical is better, but I would have to try it to give a valid opinion and say if it's better. The reason that I think mechanical is better is because you don't have the problem with the battery, so if the battery dies, then you're stuck in that same gear, which is obviously something you don't want. That's why I prefer the mechanical, and I also think it's an advantage to not have batteries, because then you don't have the extra batteries to charge all the time. But yeah, if you like the DI2, go for it. Vegan Ava says, best cycling strategy for weight loss, long flat rides in zone 2, hills, or intensity twice per week. So it's not really so much the cycling training that you do that helps the weight loss a lot. It's more the diet that you follow. But I'd say the best strategy for weight loss for cycling is to do intensity and to do the long rides in zone 2. If you're riding zone 1, you're not really getting any physiological adaptations and it's really too easy. So you're not going to burn that much fat, but if you're riding zone 2, you'll definitely burn more fat. And also intensity once or twice per week, depending on how you feel. Yeah, up to 1 hour per week is very good for intensity. If you can do more than that, then by all means smash it, but this is obviously a program that you want to do for life, so don't try and do more than 1 hour of intensity for the rest of your life, because you're probably going to fail. But yeah, when it comes to diet, the best thing you can do is eat whole foods and also eat more vegetables. That's going to help you to lose weight most effectively. Another strategy you can do is to eat tasty shit and do calorie restriction. That worked for me, but I only managed to do that for about 2 months. So it's up to you. You can eat whole foods and lose weight that way, so just eat more calorically dilute foods, or you can do the calorie restriction and eat tasty shit. Do what works for you. So Chris says, closet exercise we could do to improve us as a cyclist. So what I think he means by closet exercise is just like a standard or a staple exercise that you can do to get the most benefit in all energy systems and get the most overall improvement. Since FTP is the best indicator of endurance cycling performance, I think a threshold workout is the best workout for overall fitness. So yeah, anything from 10 minutes to 1 hour of intensity in one session is probably the best overall workout. And the second question is, if you could own any bike, which would it be and why? I would say the Cannondale Super 6 Evo, just because I really like the look of the bike, and of course Cannondale has a lifetime warranty, and of course Peter Sagan rides a Cannondale. Why not? Monet asks, where do you get your protein from? Now this isn't only a cycling question, this is a question that vegans get all the time, and they get this question more times than the amount of money that they own. So the best way to answer this is, I just get protein from all the food that I eat. On Dr. McGoogle's website, he recommends that the maximum for endurance and strength athletes in terms of protein that they need for the day is 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. And I easily get this from the rice, the pasta, the potatoes, the fruit and everything else that I eat, the greens. I can easily get this in a day because I consume at least 4,000 calories a day. So I easily get 90 to 100 grams of protein, which is like the upper limit for me. So protein is a no-brainer, it's easy to get it. Daniel says, how did you learn to hold your power so constant? Well, it was just since I had a power meter, I knew which wattage I wanted to ride, and I just focused on keeping it as close to that wattage as possible. In the beginning it's difficult, but if you ride on the road a lot and you've got a number in mind and you just focus on keeping that number, eventually it's just you're gonna get it right, and you'll be able to ride very close to that wattage. You really get a feel for it. So it's just about getting a feel for how the power meter, how it feels when you're riding at that intensity. And the more you do it, obviously the better you're going to get. It's like anything in life, you just got to practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. Owen says, at what age did you start cycling, and have you ever done a sport other than cycling? Okay, so I didn't say at what age I started. I started at 16, that was 2006. And I've done some other sports in school. I've done athletics, I've done basketball, but never really long-term consistent sport. No, I've also done some weightlifting, but yeah, never consistent. By weightlifting I mean going to gym. And Dario says, what are your maxes? Okay, so I've got many maxes, but I think he probably means the max power output for certain periods of time. So my 5-second max is 17 watts per kilo, my 1 minute max is 10.3 watts per kilo, 5 minute max 6.8, and 20 minute max 5.7. I've also done 5.3 for an hour. Max heart rate 205. Yeah, those are VO2 max tests. I've never done that, so I can't give you a value for that. I know, it's crazy, I've been cycling for so long and I haven't done a VO2 max test. What percentage of body fat is healthy and sustainable for a vegan cyclist year round? That's a difficult question to answer, because some people do well on a little bit more body fat, some people do well on less. But I think for men, a sustainable body fat percentage is definitely single digit. For me, I can probably sustain 5% year round and I would be fine. And for women, I think around 11 to 15% is sustainable year round. The bum asks, watts per kilo is very important for metric climbs, but how important is it on flat terrain compared to just watts? That's a very good question. Watts per kilo matters less on the flat terrain. As you can see with the time trials in the Grand Tours and on the world stage, it's usually the biggest guys that win the flat time trials, just because they can push more watts, but their watts per kilo isn't necessarily higher than a guy like Chris Froome or some of the best climbers in the world. It's just they've got more raw power, that's why they go faster on the flat terrain. So raw wattage is more important on flat terrain than watts per kilo. And you've also got the other factors like total surface area that also makes a difference. So the guys that push more watts generally have a greater surface area. But overall, the guys who go the fastest in the time trials and the Grand Tours are sort of in the middle range when it comes to weight. So Chris Froome is about 67 kilos, whereas Fabian Cancellara is 80 kilos, and Nairo Quintana is in the 50 kilo range. So Chris Froome's right there in the middle, so that's why he does the best in the overall Grand Tour. So on the climbs and on the flats, he's the fastest. Daniel says, how can I get slim? I'm a bike courier and want to have more watts per kilo. My weight's 90 kilograms, my height's 1.78, my VO2 max is 290 watts, and he said that was 2 years ago. He eats around 4,000 calories a day, 46 liters of water, and around 90 kilometers per day cycling. What can I do to improve? Okay, so I'm assuming Daniel is vegan and he's high carb, because he doesn't give any details about his diet. And I'd say the most important thing you can do to improve is to put some intensity into your cycling. Do the 5-minute intervals, do the threshold intervals, do the anaerobic intervals, just do a wide variety of intervals. That will really help you to improve very fast. And if you do intervals twice per week, you'll see an improvement in 8 weeks. You'll see a massive improvement. And also you can do some endurance rides, do 1 endurance ride a week. 4 to 5 hours is great. Always ride zone 2 for an endurance ride so you can get the benefit. Zone 1 is recovery, so try not to go too easy. If you want to lose weight, the best thing you can do is to eat more whole foods, like I said earlier. Eat more vegetables, and white rice is fine. Don't worry about white rice. Just cut out things like pasta, breads, bagels, pizza. If you're struggling to lose weight, that'll definitely make a difference. So Fabian asks, how would you train for the 180 kilometer bike part of an Ironman? I'd say the best training that you can do for the 180k bike part of the Ironman is to actually do 180k time trials, and do them on your time trial bike like you would do it in the Ironman, because you want to get used to that position and you want to get used to those muscles, those specific muscles that you use. Also another thing you can do is some high intensity efforts, so you can increase your threshold, because if you increase your threshold, then you'll increase your time trial pace that you can hold for 4.5, 5, I don't know what your speed is, but the fastest guys do about 4 to 4.5 hours for the Ironman. So yeah, just train specifically to what you're going to race. Vegan Warrior says, goals for racing in 2017. Any change in your training this year to meet these goals? Peace. Well, the racing schedule for 2017 isn't quite clear, so I haven't really set goals for myself. I'd really like to smash SA Champs this year. It's on the 12th of Feb, and Taiwan KM Challenge, I really want to do well there. And then there's the Jock in February. That's a 3-day tour that's very hilly. I know for sure I'm going to do, sorry, it's in July. It's a 3-day tour, it's very hilly. I know for sure I'm going to do that. I'd really like to win that. And for SA Champs, yeah, of course I want to win, but it's very difficult to win that. It's kind of like a lottery, that race. Thomas, how to become pro? Well, the easiest way to become pro is just to race a lot. You have to race in the elite races so you get noticed. Another thing, if you want to be pro long term, is don't have any strong opinions. Don't have strong opinions about veganism. Don't post that stuff on social media. Don't post any strong opinions on your lifestyle on social media, your beliefs, all that stuff, because you want to fit in as much as possible when you become a pro. So promote the product, promote the brand, and you'll stay pro long term. And just make sure you ride well. Best, you know how to ride well. You just got to train hard. Got to have mentally, you've got to be tough, and great diet, great sleep. That's how you become pro. And you got to have at least, I'd say, 10 to 12 hours a week available for training if you want to become pro as a minimum. I'm just talking local pro, I'm not talking international pro. For that you're going to need at least 15 hours a week. So Ramel V says, what's your main strength? My main strength is climbing, and second is time trial. I haven't done a proper time trial in a long time because I haven't really trained on my time trial bike, so that's why my time trial is pretty shit lately. But yeah, climbing is definitely my strength. Sprinting, I'm useless with sprints. Gavin says, how do you recover from hard training sessions and how to prepare for a hill TT? So the best way to recover from a hard training session is to smash a fruit smoothie straight after a hard ride, because the nutrients that you consume straight after a hard ride are absorbed twice as fast in the window period, which is up to 2 hours. So you definitely want to smash something with high nutrient density straight after your ride, and something with a high sugar content, so you get it immediately into your blood cells and you get your blood sugar up. And also the best thing you can do is to sleep in a very dark room. So you got the melatonin and serotonin production, and your stress hormones go down, your cortisol levels lower. So that's the quickest way to recover, and it'll also help your muscles to regenerate quickly too. And to prepare for a hill climb TT, the best thing you can do is to train lots of hills, and train specifically for the hill climb TT you're going to do. So if you've got a climb that's, let's say, 10k is a 10% gradient, then that's what you've got to train. And if you don't have something like that in your area, then at least just train at that wattage that you're going to ride for the TT and for that amount of time. You want to do those sessions at least once per week so that your body can adapt to that kind of effort, and that's probably going to take you seven weeks at most, or at least, to prepare for that event and to be in your best shape for the event. And that's it. Those are the questions. So I hope you enjoyed the Q&A session, and I hope to make some more of these soon. This was a very spontaneous session. It was just like on the spot, so I didn't really prepare for this. So I hope you appreciate the genuineness and the realness of just chatting on the spot. Ciao for now.